and political and women's rights activist, Dr. Shola Mos Shogbamimu. Hello to you. Thank you for talking to us. First of all, the bringing down of the statues, the removing of certain TV shows, the removal of certain classic films. What do you think?
I think what we're seeing here is the genesis of a cultural revolution. It's not a full-blown revolution yet, but it is what is required for us as a country to review culturally practices, behavior, language that have historical, derogatory implications for Black people. And listening to what is happening in terms of the drama schools, I welcome that because it has to be a safe space for people from, the Black people to be able to engage in, to be able to grow, and to be able to practice their own craft with knowing fully well that they will be appreciated for their skills. And I must point out that I applaud every Black person that is doing that within their space, such as Monroe Bergdorf, who called out L'Oreal for hypocrisy in providing support for the Black Lives Matter when at the same time they denied her the support she needed at the time that they canceled her contract. And I would encourage every Black person to do the same. And the institutions who are willing to listen and grow from this, I applaud them too, because that is the right thing to do. We can only grow together by listening, by hearing, and then executing better practices. So for me, from the statues that are falling down, so Edward Colston's statue, for instance, and all the other ones that are being pulled out, I see this as representing breaking the symbolic shackles of racism, what they represent. I don't think any statues or monuments that embody or that immortalize British imperialism and British history in transatlantic slavery should be celebrated or put up. All of it should come down.
What is it about now that this is happening?
I would say this is a watershed moment. If I was going to give it an analogy, I would compare it to the birth of a child. You have all those labor pains, and the labor pains of Black Lives Matter existed before the words Black Lives Matter were formed. It existed during Martin Luther King's time, existed during Mandela's time, and what you have now is a watershed moment, right? The waters have broken because the labor pains have been intense. And what is reflected now, if you look at it, especially with George Floyd's death, is the global impact of it. The global impact of it speaks to an outcry from the depths of our souls to say enough is enough. You do this to one of us, you do this to all of us. And this symbolic representation of how George Floyd died is representative of that knee. That knee is the suffocation of Black people. That knee represents so much about what is institutionally racist in the United States and in the United Kingdom. And that is why now is such a pivotal moment. It's a pivotal moment for Black people to speak out. It's a pivotal moment for white allies to join us in speaking out. It is also a pivotal moment not to be silent anymore, to expect better from our governments and institutions, to say we see you, and we do not accept what you represent anymore. You have to change.
Yeah. You praised the drama students for talking about their experiences. You've just said, obviously calling out is one thing. Calling out hypocrisy is absolutely one thing. But the talking of people's everyday racism experiences. Yesterday, I interviewed Jamelia on air, and she was, I'm tired of telling people this. It's my life. Almost every day is a protest for her. Do you recognise that as well, I assume?
Oh my God, it resonates every single day with me, with people even accusing me of, if you don't like it here, you should go away. And this is newsflash. This is my country. It's my country of birth, and it is my country. Its history is my history, including that shameful history of the transatlantic trade and its imperialism. But I have a responsibility to make it a better country for people like me and people of all races and all faiths and all backgrounds. It is my responsibility, and I'm not going to keep quiet about it. And Jamelia is absolutely right. We are saying what our parents said, what our grandparents said, what has been said for decades and centuries, and it seems as though it's an incremental change with white society. This is why I say all the time, the eradication of racism, of institutional racism, will start when white people progress. White people, all white people, those who are allies and those who are not, as a society must progress on the issue of racism and stop projecting their inferiority and fear onto us. If you want to be part of something that is great, something that speaks to humanity, something that ensures and demands that your black siblings no longer suffer at the hand of oppression and suppression, then join us. Use your white privilege for our benefit. But to those who are enraged by our audacity to speak out about it, they will continue to point fingers at us. They will continue to whitewash our oppression as their own so that they can accuse us of an anti-white agenda, which is not true. The fact that I speak out on racism doesn't make me anti-white.
Well,
the fact that I am pro-black does not make me anti-white. Somebody must speak out. We must all speak out. And I applaud and I'm thankful for our white allies who are getting it now, who are saying, oh my goodness, what can I do? I didn't realize it was this bad. I welcome them and I say, yes, we need your voice in this cause. We need you to stand by us. We need you to use your privilege and whatever platform you have to make a difference.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, Victoria, we might still be having this conversation in 10 years' time, because until racism is eradicated from top to bottom in every institution and people understanding how white supremacy is enabled on a daily basis, I'm afraid we're still going to be having this conversation. And black people are going to keep fighting this. We're going to keep calling it out. We're going to keep, pushing against injustice, because I was not born to be oppressed. And I refuse for my identity as a black woman to be defined by a system that is created to only benefit one set of people. Okay. It is wrong. And it's time for change now. The time for a revolution, cultural and otherwise, is right now.
Thank you so much.